Okay, you guys just keep bugging me about the C1000 Gen 2. And I have been testing it to see how long it runs my fridge, and I've run that test a few times now, and I'm very pleased. I'm also currently running my second or third test on the C2000 Gen 2. And this thing is just super impressive. This thing has been running my fridge for so long. I have my GoPro connected to USB, and then I've got my Pixel being charged so the screen always stays on, since this doesn't have a screen always on mode. So my GoPro is being powered with USB, and my light right here, so that you can see in the darkness the clock to see the time that has passed, is running off of USB, and then the phone is charging with the wireless there. It's just this elaborate setup, and this is exactly what I did with my C1000 Gen 2. But this one obviously runs for so much longer. And yeah, I'm a freaking nerd, and my office is a wreck because I've got freaking power stations, and I someone please send help. And I've got some more back there. The new Jackery 240D, and then what's the one behind it? Oh, that's the C200 DC. Yeah, someone please send help because I have issues. What's going on, YouTube? This is what would Josh do, and this is a super exciting video. Now, in a few days, I'll have an even more exciting video when the C2000 arrives at my doorstep. But this video is on the C1000 Gen 2. All right, so we got the box cut open. Would you look at that? Another box inside a box. All right, full disclaimer. I did purchase the C1000 and the C2000 with my own money. Anker did not send these products to me. I paid for them. I bought them. So in here we have the Anker SOLIX box. It says Anker SOLIX C1000 Gen 2 portable power station. And that's pretty simple. So now we open up the main box that has the power station inside it. I never had the C1000, the first one. I wanted it, but I never bought it. And now it's just outdated and older. And this was literally $397. And so was the C1000 Gen 1. So why would you buy the older one when the newer one, except the older one can be expanded? And that's a debate in itself, because I buy these because they're 1,000 watt hours, they're light, they're portable, they're easy to carry. If I wanted to purchase a second battery and have two different things I have to bring places and connect together, I would just get the C2000. If I came into this knowing I was going to need more than 1,000, I would get the 2,000. Plus the 2,000 can be expanded up to 4,000, where the 1,000 older can only be expanded up to 2,000. So that's a controversial take on that. This is the user guide. It's going to show you that you can take solar panels and put them in series or parallel to get the most amount of solar power possible. And then you can also recharge it in your car. All right. I am so excited because this is my first Anker power station in a while. All right, so we have a goodies box in here. Before we look at the power station, I'm going to open this up to see what all is included. All right, so we have a very thick, chunky power cable. So this has been a thing for a while now, but as you can see, it's just a generic power cord. It is a high amperage one, like it is a thick one, but it's just generic. You can get these anywhere. You don't need a brick or anything to charge it. And then here we have the car charger. So this is going to charge at 100 watts in the car. That's going to take forever. I would not charge in the car unless you needed to, had to. All right, so taking a look at it, on the back side of it, we have almost nothing. It says designed by Anker Innovations. It says if you plan to store, recharge to 100% every 3 months. And then you can scan this QR code to get a user guide if you lose the one that came with it. On the top, there's nothing but just the word Anker SOLIX. On the side of the unit, we have ventilation for the fans. Ooh, I see I see two fans. One there, one there. Pretty good size ones too. And then on this side, we got that car socket and the button to turn the car socket on and off. On this side, we've got our reset for the circuit breaker. I do not see a fan, so it looks like It only blows it in from here, and it just naturally comes out. It doesn't have a... I don't understand why they don't put fans on the other side too, because then it would be like a perfect wind tunnel. But hey, I mean, they're the ones making these power stations, not me. We have the AC, which can charge this thing at ridiculous speeds. This got the Guinness Book of World Records for fastest recharge speed in under 50 minutes, which is crazy. And then we have up to 600 watts of solar. That's also something that's interesting because for the $397 price range, you can get the Blue Eddy Elite 100 V2, which I also purchased for the same exact price as this unit, and it gets up to 1,000 watts of solar. So 600 is still pretty dang good though. And the nice thing about the Blue Eddy is it has the DC 5521 ports. So you can get a DC 5521 to DC fridge cable like I have, and you don't have to worry about the cigarette lighter coming out on you. So it's nice to have those 5521s, but this unit does not have them. We do have some impressive outputs here though. We have two 140 watt connections. That's crazy. You can take your MacBook Pro 16-inch and charge it at 140 watts, and then take your wife's, husband's, boyfriend, girlfriend's, mom, dad, take their MacBook Pro 16-inch and also charge it at 140 watts. And then keep your phone charging at 15 watts to provide internet to both your laptops. Then you can do an extra 5 watts because this shares 20 together for these two. So if you do 15 on this, you can have a USB powered light or a fan or something taking the last 5 watts there. Then you've got all of these AC prongs out here. And you can also get a car cigarette lighter to power delivery and have even more Type-C ports, because Anker sells one of those. You just plug it in a cigarette lighter on the side there, and then you have even more ports. All right, for the super exciting part, we're going to connect the AC to the side of the unit there. And then that's the most I've ever had a power station come charged. 82%. All right, so we got our Android phone here. We're going to open up the Anker app, and we're going to add a device. We're going to go up to the top right, click the little plus button, and we're going to add a device. It found the SOLIX C1000 Gen 2, and now it's going to connect to it. I always delete the word SOLIX just to make it cleaner. And you can use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. The nice thing about using Wi-Fi is obviously you can control it from your work. If this unit is at home, you can turn lights on and off like that are connected to the AC or the DC. You can turn the DC on, the AC on, turn it off. It's pretty cool. And it says that we have an update. So let's go ahead and update. So I currently have 1023. Now I'll be updating to 1118. And then this process will take just a little while. It does say updating on the screen. Alrighty, so the update process is complete. That did take a few minutes, so don't freak out. All right, now it says officially on my phone that the update is complete. So we're gonna first go to the settings here and check and see if there's something for the screen. Yeah, 30 seconds is a default. We can go between 10 to 30. It sucks there's not a always on or never option, because I'm someone that if my power station is on, I want to always be able to see the screen and what it's doing. And right now it's pulling 863 watts from the wall. So we're going to just go over the app and I'm going to show you what all it can do. First of all, we have the AC recharging power. We can go from 100 watts to 600 watts for silent, meaning no sounds if you don't want to hear the fan spinning, to 1200. And then we can do car charger output power saving mode. Basically, when it detects less than 3 watts for 5 hours, it'll stop charging. Smart AC output mode. This mode automatically turns off the AC output when it's unused or remains below 20 watts for 15 consecutive minutes. Nope, don't want that on either. Device timeout. Mine was set to 12 hours by default. You can go 30 minutes all the way to never. You can change the screen brightness from low, medium, or high. You can set a screensaver, so it'll show the clock, and you can have different styles for your clock. And then you've got this last theme here. So that's really neat that it has the different times. And so we'll change this to 10 seconds so we can see the screensaver. Awesome. It shows 0026 because it's shortly after midnight. And then you can change the screen brightness to 20%. And it even has a disclaimer that says, hey, we recommend 5%. Because it'll always be on, the screen will last many more years. You can distinguish day from night. That's interesting. Well, that's cool. You can separate them so have different brightnesses for different times. This is crazy. There's so much here. And then one of the very exciting things that they finally added was charging discharge limits. So basically, right now, it'll go to 1% and then it'll turn off. But say you want it to be better than that, right? So 20%. When the battery in here hits 20%, it'll stop outputting. So that's massive that they finally added that. And then charging limits means, okay, we're at 90% right now. Say we wanted it to never go above 80%. We can save that. And it just stopped charging. I heard the relay click. So basically, you'll never have to worry about the power station getting below 20% or above 80%. And then obviously, you can choose 85, 90, 95, or 100. And then you can choose 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. And then you can change the device name. You can reconnect it to a different Wi-Fi signal. You can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. You can also check for firmware updates. We have the latest firmware. And you can factory reset it and you can get help. So then I backed out and it says charging discharge limits. The battery cycles within the range between the set upper charging limit and lower discharging limit. So now we're on the home screen. From here we can choose standard mode, TOU mode, and it gives you a disclaimer there. It's reserved for emergencies while power supply your daily needs. Backup power is reserved for emergencies while power in use supplies your daily needs. During outages, the device automatically discharges until it reaches the set limit. So mine was 25 to 75. You can do 100 to 0 or anything in between, or 6 to 94. And then it gives you some more stuff on the screen about off-peak, peak, stuff like that. Drag the slider up and down and change the lifespan. Swipe left to delete it. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh my word. So you can just mess with so much in here. It's crazy. And then you can delete one if you don't want it there. And you can set your pricing for your area. And then it gives a little tip or disclaimer about the current tariff and stuff. So you can add a period, mid-peak, off-peak. Well, we already have an off-peak, so we'll add a peak. And then we have Storm Guard. Let's see what that is. If a storm is forecasted, the system automatically switches to Storm Guard for a set time. Afterward, the system switches back to previously set mode automatically. This is absolutely crazy. And then last but not least, fast charging plan. Enable to recharge the battery to 100% using maximum available power. What if I press that? Oh, okay. When no electrical appliances are connected, the estimated recharging speed is 2 hours. I'm just curious of what will happen if we press this right now. You don't really want to use this option because it's really hard on the batteries. Obviously, you can use it, and if you're about to experience an outage and your battery's low, that's the beautiful thing about something this light that charges this fast. Say you live close to a McDonald's and your power is fixing to go out or it went out and you killed this battery or this battery was low. You can go somewhere like McDonald's that does have power, plug this in, and in under 50 minutes, this thing is fully charged. And then you could take it home and plug your fridge into this, and it's just fantastic. So I'm going to hit OK, and then you can see whether your USB is outputting anything on each port too, like what each individual port's doing. And then car charger, you could turn it on or off, and you can even set a timer. So say in 1 hour, turn it off. In 3 hours, turn it off. Or customize. You can narrow it down to all the way to 24 hours. Crazy. And same thing, turn the AC on and off, and then do the same thing with that. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or customize. And go all the way to 20. That's insane. All right, we're going to let this thing fully charge, and then we're going to connect our fridge and see how long that lasts. So I'm heating up some water in the microwave. I'm drawing 1,718 watts. All right. All right, nothing abnormal. Went from 100% to 87% with one cook of 3 minutes. A 3-minute cook. And yes, it's sitting on top of a Elite 100 so that this little tiny cord can reach up there. All right, so the C1000 Gen 2 got to 87% with a 3-minute cook. Let's see what the Elite 100 does with a 3-minute cook.
Oh my God. I've worked with you over the years, but the reason
Alrighty. Alright, 7 seconds left, almost there. We're at 91%. And it's done. Alright, so this isn't super scientific or anything, but that was 87%, that's 90%. But yeah, this thing is seriously impressive, and when it was running my microwave, the fans were not loud at all. In fact, the only time that I've ever heard the fans on this thing is after I discovered that the outlet above the microwave is a 20 amp circuit or whatever breaker. Finally, I was able to fully charge this thing at its top speed, and those fans got loud. But you're honestly doing a lot of damage to the batteries in here, and that's not something you're supposed to do on a regular basis by charging this thing at its full speed. So I usually keep it on 600 watts, which is silent charging. And yeah, I'm a freaking nerd, and my office is a wreck because I've got freaking power stations and unopened C300 DC because I already have a C300 DC, and I someone please send help. And I've got some more back there, the new Jackery 240D, and then what's the one behind it? Oh, that's the C200 DC. Yeah, someone please send help because I have issues. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'm most active on my YouTube community page. You go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/whatwoulddjoshdo, and go to community, or look for somewhere that you see posts. Click that, and then you can see what I am up to. Thanks for watching. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.